Welcome, early risers, to a new dawn of devotion. As the sun yet sleeps behind the horizon, there exists a unique group of individuals, a distinct gathering of souls who bravely break the shackles of slumber to embrace the serene solitude offered by the early morning hours. In the quietude of the pre-dawn twilight, they gather themselves mentally and spiritually, ready to embark on a journey of insight and tranquility. This collective is known as the 3 a.m. Club, an assembly of the devoted and dedicated who rise much before the first light of day to engage in a time-honored practice, a ritual of prayer meditation as ancient as time itself. This unassuming ritual, often referred to as the 3 a.m. prayer, is not a mere act of faith, but has deep-seated roots in time-tested traditions, bearing profound and intense spiritual significance. An act so deeply entwined with the spiritual rhythms of the world that it seems to have been imbued with an otherworldly essence that transcends the ordinary, bringing the practitioner closer to the divine. Historically, it is believed by a multitude of spiritual seekers that this hour, the spectral hour of 3 a.m., is the time when the veil separating the earthly and the divine realms is at its most ethereal, its thinnest. This is the hour that allows a more intimate, more profound connection with the Almighty. A spiritual tethering that is conceived in the purity of this sacred hour and nurtures the soul in ways unimaginable. The 3 a.m. hour is a time of tranquility when the world's cacophonous distractions are muted, allowing one to truly listen, to connect with the silent murmurings divine. An intimate tête-à-tête that inspires and guides, fortifying the soul, enabling spiritual growth. However, the 3 a.m. Club is not just about prayer, it's a movement, a lifestyle starting each day with vigorous intention and definitive purpose. It's about setting the tone for the hours that will follow, about sowing the seeds of gratitude and mindfulness that would fruit throughout the day. This video is your passport into the ethereal world of the 3 a.m. prayer practice. Together, we will traverse through dusty trails of history, exploring its age-old roots, delving deep into its spiritual significance, unraveling the mystique that surrounds this profound practice. We will provide you with practical, doable tips on how to seamlessly incorporate this powerful ritual into your daily routine, helping you transform your life, one sunrise at a time. If you find yourself inspired by this spiritual sojourn, we extend an invitation to you to subscribe to our channel. Our mission is to provide you with enriching content that nurtures your spiritual growth, fostering a deeper, more meaningful connection with the divine. So, join us as we embark on this exploration of the early risers revolution. Discover the transformative power of the 3 a.m. prayer. Experience the profound change it can bring into your life. Become a part of a global community, a brotherhood that is committed to starting each day with purpose, intention, and a deep sense of spiritual connection. Unearth the mystique of the 3 a.m. prayer, a centuries-old tradition steeped in the pages of history, a practice that has withstood the test of time. Discover the strength that comes from starting your day with a profound sense of purpose, with a deep-rooted intention and a divine connection that fuels your spirit. Experience the power of the early risers, of the 3 a.m. Club, and transform your life. Unearth the mystique of the 3 a.m. prayer, a time-honored tradition steeped in history. Journey back in time to discover the roots of the 3 a.m. prayer. As we embark on this exploration, let's step into the time machine of history, adjusting our course and steering towards the early centuries of Christianity. The 3 a.m. prayer, a prayer practice that might appear peculiar to the uninitiated, is more than a mere ritual. Also known as the witching hour prayer, it reveals a fascinating, profound narrative deeply rooted in the spiritual practices of the early Christians. The early Christians were a community that held a deeply ingrained reverence for the sanctity of the night. This period of darkness was not considered a time of fear or danger, but rather an opportunity to embark on a spiritual journey. A time when the distractions of the world faded away, leaving room for a profound communion with the divine. In the quietude of the darkest hours, when the world was hushed and still, they discovered a deeper connection with the sacred. The belief in the sanctity of these quiet moments of the night was deeply grounded in their spiritual practices. It was during times away from the clamor and chaos of the day that they believed God's voice echoed the loudest. This understanding was inherent to their spiritual practices and gave birth to the tradition of the 3 a.m. prayer, a practice that they held sacred. Now, you might be inclined to question, why choose 3 in the morning specifically? The answer to this question lies within the sacred text of Christianity, the Bible. In the book of Acts, we learn about the 3rd hour of the day, which aligns with our current time setting of 9 a.m. This was the hour when the Holy Spirit descended upon the apostles during the event of Pentecost. The Pentecost, the 3rd hour of the night, 9 p.m. in modern calculation, was seen as a parallel, a time when the spiritual world was believed to be particularly active, marking a deep communion with the divine. The early Christian monks, who were known as the Desert Fathers, further solidified this tradition. They divided the night into 3 watches for prayer, at the hours that we now know as 9 p.m., midnight, and 3 a.m. These watches were not random choices, but had profound significance. Each watch was a time for deep contemplation, a dedicated moment to connect with God. The 3 a.m. prayer was the final watch, a spiritual climax before the arrival of a new day, allowing for the powerful transition from darkness to light. The 3 a.m. prayer wasn't just about the timing, it also carried a deep symbolic significance. In biblical numerology, the number 3 is a sacred number. It signifies completeness and stability. Think of the Holy Trinity, the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. The act of praying at 3 a.m. was seen as aligning oneself with this divine completeness, seeking stability and guidance in the calmness of the night. Moreover, the 3 a.m. prayer has a remarkable connection to the Passion of Christ, one of the most significant events in Christian theology. It is believed that Christ was arrested in the early hours before dawn, which further imbues the 3 a.m. prayer with a sense of sorrowful reverence. It serves as a time reflect on Christ's sacrifice, adding a layer of depth to this early morning prayer. The tradition of the 3 a.m. prayer has been carried forward by various Christian denominations throughout the centuries. Numerous monastic orders, such as the Benedictines and the Cistercians, have continued this practice as part of their liturgy of the hours, a set of prayers marking the hours of each day and sanctifying the course of the day with prayer. From the quiet corners of ancient monasteries to the humble confines of modern Christian homes around the globe, the 3 a.m. prayer has endured. Its essence remains untouched by the sands of time. It continues to serve as a sacred call to spiritual awakening, a profound communion with God in the silent hours of the night. The 3 a.m. prayer invites us to quiet our minds and hearts, to listen for the divine in the stillness, and to connect with a tradition that has its roots in the earliest days of Christianity. It is a testament to the enduring power of prayer, the unwavering faith of the early Christians, and the timeless wisdom that in the silence of the night, we can find a deeper, more meaningful connection with the divine. From ancient times to now, the 3 a.m. prayer has been a beacon of spiritual awakening. This journey into the past allows us to appreciate the depth of this tradition and the strength of faith that has kept it alive for centuries. As we step out of the time machine and back into the present, we carry with us the knowledge and understanding of this sacred practice, and in doing so, we find ourselves more connected to the spiritual roots of our faith. Why 3 a.m.? Unravel the spiritual significance of this sacred hour. The early morning hours, in the quiet solitude when the world remains calm and peaceful, serve as a stage for profound spiritual connection. At the heart of this is the time of 3 a.m., a moment that carries considerable weight and importance in the Christian faith. But why this particular hour? What is it that makes this time so spiritually potent? To understand this, we must trace our steps back in the past to the seminal event of the Last Supper. Visualize the scene. Jesus is there, seated among his disciples, sharing a final meal before his crucifixion. This event was a pivotal one, a turning point where Jesus established the sacrament of communion. This ritual, heavily symbolic and revered, continues to be practiced by Christians worldwide. But how does this relate to the hour of 3 a.m.? The Last Supper is conventionally related to the evening hours, yet it's the subsequent events, the crucial hours leading to Jesus' crucifixion, that link us to the spiritual importance of 3 a.m. As the disciples nestled in sleep in the Garden of Gethsemane, Jesus found himself immersed in fervent prayer. His heart was laden with the knowledge of the imminent suffering, the inevitable sacrifice. It was in these wee hours, in the stillness of the early morning, when Jesus prepared himself for the task ahead. This connection to Jesus' final hours lends the 3 a.m. prayer an emotive depth, a tie to the core of the Christian message of sacrifice, redemption, and love. This hour serves as a reminder of Jesus' struggle, his dedication to humanity, and his unwavering faith in God's plan. But there's more to the story of the 3 a.m. time than its connection to the crucifixion. We venture into the notion of the witching hour, a term that is deeply rooted in folklore and superstition. Generally, the witching hour is a period in the dead of night, often cited as being 3 a.m., when supernatural occurrences are believed to be their peak. It's an hour often linked with darkness and fear. However, in the context of the Christian faith, the 3 a.m. hour holds a contrasting meaning. It is not an hour to dread, but a time to embrace faith, to seek God's presence, and to tap into the spiritual power that this sacred hour holds. The 3 a.m. prayer serves a beacon, a ray of light that breaks through the darkness. The juxtaposition between the traditional witching hour and the 3 a.m. prayer is profound. It's a testament to the power of faith, the ability to transform fear into hope, darkness into light. While the witching hour is steeped in superstition and fear, the 3 a.m. prayer is steeped in faith and love. It stands as a symbol of a Christian's commitment to remain steadfast in their faith, even in the face of darkness. As you quietly murmur your prayers at 3 a.m., you're not only connecting with God, but you're also becoming part of a spiritual heritage that spans centuries. You're standing in the shoes of Jesus, sharing in his early morning prayers and echoing his unwavering faith. The 3 a.m. prayer isn't just about the hour displayed on a clock. It's about the spiritual significance that this particular time holds. It's about the connection to Jesus' ultimate sacrifice, the defiance of the darkness, and the light of faith. Always remember, this is more than a simple act of routine or ritual. The 3 a.m. prayer is a spiritual journey, a path to deepening your faith, to connect with God on a profound level, and to follow in footsteps of Jesus. So when the clock strikes 3 a.m. and the surrounding world is tranquil and still, hold on to the spiritual significance of this sacred hour. Embrace the opportunity to connect with God, to seek his guidance, and to fortify your faith. The 3 a.m. prayer, a powerful symbol of faith, defies the darkness with its radiant light. From ancient scrolls to modern screens, the 3 a.m. prayer still resonates. As the world around us continues to evolve at an alarming rate, one might ask, does an old tradition like the 3 a.m. prayer still have a place in our fast-paced world? The answer, in short, is an emphatic yes. In the turmoil and of the 21st century, the 3 a.m. prayer does not lose its relevance, but instead finds renewed importance. Within the unending echo of our daily routines, the continuous notifications, the ceaseless to-do lists, the unforgiving speed of progress, the 3 a.m. prayer offers a respite of serenity, a serene sanctuary where we can reconnect with our faith and our inner selves. In every part of the globe, from the hushed corners of busy metropolises to serene rural landscapes, people are adjusting their alarms to ring in the wee hours of the morning, drawn by the spiritual allure of this ancient ritual. These modern-day followers hail from various life paths, unified by their joint quest for spiritual development and inner tranquility. Even in the heart of New York, there's a businessman who commences his day not with the ringing of the stock market bell, but with the soft murmur of prayer. He discovers that the early morning prayer sets an optimistic tone for his day, imbuing his commercial transactions with a sense of purpose and honesty. Across the wide Atlantic, in a quaint town in England, a healthcare worker finds comfort in the 3 a.m. prayer. Amid the demands of her field, she cherishes these tranquil moments of self-reflection and communion. The prayer bestows her strength, reminding her of the greater purpose behind her daily dedications. In a frenetic city in India, a scholar momentarily puts her studies on hold each morning to partake in the 3 a.m. prayer. Far from being a disturbance, she observes that this routine hones her focus, grounding her in a sense of tranquility and lucidity that improves her scholarly performance. And then there are the digital groups, the virtual gatherings that have emerged on various social media platforms, where individuals from all walks of life assemble to discuss their experiences, difficulties, and discoveries related to the 3 a.m. prayer. These online platforms have allowed the 3 a.m. prayer to surpass geographical borders, forming a global congregation of early risers. Even with the distinctness of their backgrounds, professions, and locations, these individuals all have one thing in common. The 3 a.m. prayer has become a pivotal part of their spiritual journey. They vouch for its transformative potential, speaking of the profound sense of calmness, lucidity, and connection they achieve through practice. But the true charm of the 3 a.m. prayer in modern times is not just its far-reaching influence, but moreover, its adaptability. It does not necessitate a total upheaval of one's lifestyle, but rather encourages us to create a small, sacred space in our daily routine. Whether it's a hushed moment of introspection, a sincere dialogue with the divine, or an in-depth exploration of holy texts, the 3 a.m. prayer can take a plethora of forms, each one as valid and significant as the other. In a world that often demands us to do more, to be more, the 3 a.m. prayer offers a contrasting viewpoint. It invites us to simply be, to sit in tranquility, to listen to the silence, to connect with the divine within us and around us. It is a potent reminder that in the midst of our busy lives, there is a place for peace, for reflection, for connection. So, as the world continues to spin at its dizzying pace, let the 3 a.m. prayer be your anchor. Let it be your haven amidst the turmoil, your navigational aid in the confusion, your solace in the solitude. In a world overflowing with distractions, the 3 a.m. prayer offers a tranquil refuge. Experience the transformative power of the 3 a.m. prayer. This isn't simply a phrase, it's an invitation, an open door to explore a spiritual practice that holds the capacity to enhance your life in ways you may not have previously considered. Close your eyes and envision a world where tranquility isn't a mere concept, it's a consistent part of daily life. A realm where you're not just going through the motions, but you're in the driver's seat of your own spiritual journey. This is not an illusion, this is the power of the 3 a.m. prayer. Let's go deeper into the personal benefits this practice can bring. The 3 a.m. prayer has become a sanctuary of solitude for many. In the silence and tranquility of the early morning, world distractions are at a bare minimum. This is a time of peace, a moment when you can concentrate on your connection with the divine, undisturbed by the constant motion of daily life. Practicing the 3 a.m. prayer brings a sense of mental clarity and spiritual focus that continues to echo throughout the day. A tranquility accompanies the 3 a.m. prayer that springs from the understanding that in these early hours, you are engaged in a quiet dialogue with your Maker. This serene discourse nurtures your soul, pacifies your mind, and fills your heart with optimism. The power of the 3 a.m. prayer, however, is not confined to personal benefits. It is also a practice that fosters a sense of community. Picture this tale from a small Italian town. The townsfolk have a tradition of rising at 3 a.m. to offer their prayers. They don't gather in a communal setting. Instead, they pray individually within the confines of their own homes. But they are all aware that at this hour, they are connecting in prayer. This shared devotion has formed a bond that fortifies their community, fostering unity and mutual support. Another powerful story is of a woman from Canada. She was traversing through a challenging phase in her life, feeling astray and disconnected. She initiated the practice of the 3 a.m. prayer. She says that the experience was transformative. It didn't merely assist her in finding her way back to her faith, but it also guided her towards a sense of purpose. She experienced a profound connection with God, and this bond granted her the courage and guidance she needed to overcome her struggles. These accounts serve to highlight the potency of the 3 a.m. prayer. It's not just about the act of waking up in the early hours and uttering a few words. It's about nurturing an intimate relationship with God, seeking peace in His presence, and drawing strength from this connection. It's about fostering unity, both within oneself and within one's community. It's about discovering a sense of purpose, a direction in life. This power of the 3 a.m. prayer is within everyone's grasp. It doesn't necessitate you to be a theologian or a saint. The only requirement is a willing spirit, a genuine desire to connect with God. The 3 a.m. prayer being just a spiritual practice, it is a journey of self-discovery, of community building, and of spiritual growth. It's a journey that can bring profound peace and purpose into your life. So as we delve deeper into the realm of the 3 a.m. prayer, remember this: the magic isn't in the hour. It's not about the precise moment when the clock strikes 3. It's about the commitment to seek God, the dedication to nurture this relationship, and the courage to allow this connection to bring about transformation in you. The 3 a.m. prayer, a deepening spiritual practice, brings profound peace and purpose. And that, dear friends, is the transformative power of the 3 a.m. prayer. Ready to join the early risers revolution? Here's how. Let's delve into the practicalities of this sacred practice and explore the profound elements of the 3 a.m. prayer. This is not just about the action of setting an alarm and rising early. It's about actively cultivating a spiritual connection with the divine during the most serene period of the day. The journey to mastering the 3 a.m. prayer begins with mental preparedness. It's critical to realize that this practice surpasses the confines of a mere routine. It's a solemn pledge to one's spiritual evolution. Accepting that there will be obstacles, particularly in the initial stages, is part of the process. However, always bear in mind the rewards that await you. Spiritual growth, inner peace, and a deepened connection with the divine are the benefits that you stand to gain. Following mental preparedness, the next step is to cultivate an environment that nurtures the practice of prayer. Look for a calm and comfortable spot within your abode where you can sit undisturbed. You could opt for a tranquil corner of your bedroom, a designated prayer room, or even a serene spot within your garden. The aim is to find a place that allows you to disconnect from the world and connect with the divine. Now onto the time of prayer itself. It's crucial to ensure that you're well rested when the alarm rings at 3 a.m. Going to bed earlier is a simple yet effective method to achieve this. It may take a few days for your body to acclimate to this new sleep schedule, but with dedication and consistency, it will gradually become second nature. Remember, it's not an overnight process, and patience is key in this journey. Once you're up ready, initiate your prayer session by dedicating a few moments to silence. This simple act helps to quieten the mind and primes it for the spiritual voyage that lies ahead. Next, it might be beneficial to read a few verses from the Bible or other spiritual reflections to anchor your prayer session. Choose a theme or topic that resonates deeply with you. This could range from expressing gratitude and seeking divine guidance to professing love for your Creator. As you commence with the prayer, remember the cruciality of sincerity. Speak to God as you to a cherished friend, with complete honesty and openness. Share not just your hopes and dreams, but also your fears, your joy, and your sorrow. One of the most beautiful aspects of the 3 a.m. prayer is its serene solitude. It's a tranquil time when the world is asleep, and you can form a connection with God that's profoundly personal. Therefore, take your time. There's no rush, no schedule to keep. Allow your prayers to flow naturally and organically. You might also discover it helpful to maintain a prayer journal. Jotting down your thoughts, reflections, and insights can lend a deeper meaning to your prayer time. It also offers a tangible record of your spiritual progression, enabling you to revisit previous entries and observe your growth over time. Always remember that the goal of the 3 a.m. prayer isn't solely to communicate, but also to listen. Once you've poured out your thoughts and feelings, take some time to sit in silence and tune into what God might be communicating to you. This could be a period of profound insight, wisdom, and inspiration. Finally, conclude your prayer session with a word of thanks. Express appreciation for the opportunity to converse with God and for any insights or revelations you might have received during your prayer. By incorporating these steps into your everyday routine, you'll notice that the 3 a.m. prayer becomes an integral and enriching part of your spiritual voyage. This sacred practice offers a unique opportunity to connect with God on a deeply personal level, to reflect upon your life, and to attain peace and clarity before the start of a new day. Always remember that the 3 a.m. prayer is a personal journey. There's no universally right or wrong way to practice it. The key element is that you're making a commitment to enriching your relationship with God and fostering your spiritual growth. So, are you ready to embark on this transformative journey? Are you prepared to join the early risers revolution and experience the life-changing power of the 3 a.m. prayer? Embrace the 3 a.m. prayer and awaken to a new dawn of devotion. As we conclude our journey, let's reflect on the powerful lessons of the 3 a.m. prayer. We embarked on this exploration with a view to uncovering the roots of the 3 a.m. prayer. We retraced the steps of time, journeying back through the ages, navigating historical landscapes to where this phenomenon was first known. We realized that the practice of rising in the early hours of the morning for prayer isn't something that was born of recent times, but rather a practice that is sewn into the very fabric of Christian tradition. It's a custom that has its roots firmly planted in the age of Christ himself. It has been passed down through the years through the hands of generations, ensuring that it remains as relevant and impactful today as it was in those ancient times. We examine the significance of the 3 a.m. prayer, delving into why this very specific time holds such a remarkable spiritual weight. In our exploration, we discovered that the third hour after midnight, the darkest hour before dawn, is a time of distinctive spiritual activity, a moment when the world is at its quietest and distractions are at a minimal, providing an unparalleled opportunity to connect with our Creator in a profound and intimate manner. As we moved forward into the modern times, we scrutinized how the 3 a.m. prayer has adapted and evolved to find a place in today's fast-paced, frenetic world. Despite the challenges that our hyperactive lives present, we found that the 3 a.m. prayer has retained its efficacy as a potent device for spiritual growth. The practice requires discipline, certainly, but the rewards it reaps are boundless and immeasurable. It provides an oasis of tranquility amidst the storm of chaos, a moment to retune, to recalibrate, and to realign with our spiritual objective. We further unraveled the power that the 3 a.m. prayer holds. It goes beyond just the physical act of waking up early and praying. It's about reaching out and tapping into a spiritual reservoir of strength and resilience. It's about drawing nearer to God and experiencing His presence in a unique manner. It's a practice that has the potential to alter lives, to instill peace, and to cultivate a more profound sense of purpose. And finally, we navigated through practical ways to weave the 3 a.m. prayer into the tapestry of our everyday lives. We looked at a variety of methods and strategies to help us rise early and partake in this transmutative practice. We realized it's not about achieving perfection, but about remaining consistent. It's about pledging our commitment to our spiritual growth and adhering to it each and every day. The 3 a.m. prayer is more than just a practice. It's a revolution, an early riser's revolution. It's a clarion call to step outside of our comfort zones, to transcend our physical restrictions, and to participate in a spiritual voyage that holds the promise of transforming our lives. As we draw close to this exploration, let's recall the very essence of the 3 a.m. prayer. Let's remember its historical roots, its spiritual significance, its relevance in today's world, and its transformative power. But most importantly, let's remember the practical ways we can embed this practice into our lives. Let's hold these lessons close, in our minds and in our hearts. Let's allow the 3 a.m. prayer to be more than just a theory we studied about, but a practice we live out. Let's rise before the sun, connect with our Creator and the transformative power of the 3 a.m. prayer. And as we do that, let's bear in mind that we're not alone in this journey. We're part of a community of early risers, a community of believers, a community of individuals dedicated to their spiritual growth. So let's uplift each other, let's lend our support, and let's grow together. Subscribe to our channel, join the Early Risers Revolution, and embark on a transformative spiritual journey with the 3 a.m. prayer.